Welcome. If you're navigating the exciting but definitely demanding world of hotel and restaurant ownership, well, this deep dive is specifically for you.
Hmm.
We know you're facing long hours, constant challenges, all while, striving to create those exceptional experiences.
Absolutely.
Today, we're diving deep into the insights of Maurice. He's a seasoned hospitality professional, real expert in food and beverage.
That's right. And we've been looking his thoughts, and he's got a very grounded take on the whole industry.
Our goal really is to cut through the, let's say, idealized images, right? And explore the practical realities. We want to offer valuable perspectives straight from Maurice's expertise.
Yeah, and a key point he makes right off the bat is this romanticization trap. The vision of a buzzing dining room, happy guests.
Maybe even some celebrities tucked in a corner.
Exactly. But Maurice cautions, don't let that appealing picture overshadow the fundamental business side of things.
Okay, let's unpack that. The romanticization trap. I mean, we all know that, Paul, right? The vibrant atmosphere, the creativity, maybe being, a respected local figure. Maurice says this image is really seductive.
It really is. But the danger, as Maurice points out, is that this vision can distract from the essential groundwork, the nuts and bolts of running a viable business.
Right. It's like being wowed by the final show without seeing all the rehearsals and the backstage chaos.
Precisely. Maurice suggests many people jump in with passion for food, for hosting, which is vital, of course,
Hmm.
but sometimes without that equal focus on sound financial planning and operation.
Gotcha. Like dreaming of hitting home runs, but skipping batting practice. So Maurice then gets into the real challenges, and financials are right at the top. It sounds pretty stark.
It is, yeah. He points to a sobering statistic. He notes that nearly 60% of restaurants close within their first 3 years. 60%.
Wow, that's high.
Very high,
Yeah.
especially considering the investment. And Maurice says it often comes down to huge financial pressures. Sky-high rent, staffing costs, tricky inventory management.
It's a lot to juggle.
Yeah, and he gives this example, a cautionary tale, of a talented Parisian chef. Passionate, great food, probably living the dream, but the
Right.
place closed in under a year. Maurice's takeaway. Poor management, astronomical costs. Basically, passion needs business sense. Talent alone just doesn't enough.
Okay, so culinary skill isn't the silver bullet. You need business chops, too.
Exactly. Cost control, pricing strategy, having enough cash flow. These things can sink even the best concepts. You've got to marry the art and the business.
Makes sense. So beyond the big financial hurdles, what about the day-to-day? That romantic vision probably doesn't feature a broken freezer at 8 p.m. on a Saturday. Maurice mentions the constant pressure.
Oh, absolutely. He paints a picture that's miles away from casually greeting guests. Talks about relentless schedules, always putting out fires, staffing issues, suppliers messing up, equipment breaking.
The daily grind.
Totally. And managing the team, keeping everyone motivated. It's very hands-on, often unpredictable, requires constant problem solving. It can be a real shock if you went in just focus on the creative side.
Definitely sounds demanding, which leads nicely into Maurice's ideas about smart alternatives to full ownership. This could be interesting for folks feeling the strain, or maybe those just dipping their toes in. First up, investing, not managing.
Yeah, this is an intriguing angle Maurice brings up. If you love the industry, but maybe not the 24/7 operational headache, consider backing an experienced restaurateur. Become an investor.
Okay, so put your money in, but let someone else handle the day-to-day fires.
Right. And the benefits Maurice mentions, well, you might get VIP treatment, nice meals, the prestige of being linked to a cool spot, but without the direct operational stress.
He gives an example, right? An investor financing a bistro for free meals and networking.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you get the perks, the connection,
Mm.
without being, deep in the weeds yourself.
So for our listeners already running places, could investing in another venture be a way to diversify, maybe spread the risk, or find a less intense involvement?
That's exactly the kind of strategic thinking Maurice seems to be pushing for. Align your resources with your strengths and what you actually want to do. Now, the second alternative he mentions is quite different. Training and working as a chef or manager first.
Right, learning the ropes from the inside, but without your own capital on the line.
Precisely. Immerse yourself, learn the kitchen, understand the team dynamics, feel the pressure, but without that ultimate financial burden of ownership.
Maurice sees this as invaluable, right? Like building a really solid foundation.
Absolutely. Deep practical knowledge, Whether you eventually open your own place, now knowing the real deal, or you just become a much better leader where you are, it's solid groundwork.
Okay, so whether it's full ownership, investing, or working your way up, Maurice hammers home the need for planning. A great idea isn't enough.
Not even close. He stresses rigorous analysis, research, preparation. It's the bedrock. You have to look past the excitement and really dig into the market, your audience, your numbers.
And he highlights some common mistakes. High rent is a killer, he says.
Huge one. If rent eats up too much of your sales, you're starting behind. Also, not having enough startup capital and reserves for those first tough months.
The buffer money.
Exactly. And just, poor financial management overall. It's not just about good food or service.
He contrasts that indie place with great food but a bad location failing, while a mediocre franchise in a prime spot thrives.
Yeah, that example really drives it home. Location, systems, planning, those fundamentals matter immensely. It's a good prompt for everyone listening. Are your location and financial strategies really solid for the long haul?
Definitely food for thought. Now, speaking of standing out, Maurice also talks about innovation. He uses that Gregoire Jacquet takeout concept in Berkeley.
Ah, yes, that's a great case study. Jacquet basically revolutionized takeout, didn't he? Focused on quality, originality, local ingredients.
Made takeout an experience, not just convenience.
Exactly. And Maurice points out it wasn't just the concept. Strategic, location-dense, affluent area. Plus, really efficient management, low costs, optimized processes. Result, revenue doubled.
So Maurice's lesson there is think outside the box. Offer something different.
Totally. You can't just copy everyone else. And innovation isn't just the menu. It could be service, marketing, sustainability, anything that makes you unique. So the question for everyone listening is, where can you innovate in your own place?
Good question. Finally, Maurice gives some very grounded advice. Start small, dream big. Be realistic, build a foundation, manage risk, grow step by step.
Yeah, that's classic wisdom based on seeing what works. He suggests focusing on building local loyalty first, not chasing Michelin stars right away. Evaluate your resources carefully, don't overspend, and crucially, surround yourself with a good team. You can't do it alone.
He mentions a young chef starting with a small canteen, right, and just gradually building up.
Yeah, perfect example. Steady progress often leads to sustainable success. So again, for everyone listening, are your growth plans realistic? Are you investing in the right people to help you get there?
It seems like the big takeaway from Maurice is balance, right? Passion is essential, but it needs that rigorous business side.
Absolutely. Harmonizing the love for the craft with a clear-eyed view of the operational and financial stuff. Preparation, innovation, realism, those are key, according to Maurice.
And he ends with that direct question, doesn't he? Aimed right at our audience. So, are you up for the challenge?
Yeah, it's a reminder that it takes resilience, smarts, not just talent.
And he adds that lovely line. Good food requires care, patience, and passion. Your restoration project deserves the same attention.
It applies across the board.
So considering everything Maurice shared, here's a final thought to chew on. What's one specific, doable adjustment you could make in your business starting today? Maybe rethinking an expense, trying a small local partnership, talking to your team about one key process. What small step could move you closer to that sustainable success? Something to think about.